Hello, this is WP, and I'm bringing you a StarCraft 2 game of a Zerg, me, WP, and a Protoss, Loasd, up the top on Lost Temple. There's the normal good luck, have fun going out. And this Protoss vs Zerg match has kind of changed with the change of the Infestor, and so you're going to be seeing me do a build that I'm trying out, seeing how I like it. With the buff to the Ultras, I'm really kind of liking that, and going to try and see what I can do with a couple different builds. The normal 10 Overlord, 10 Drone is going down, and he's scouting quite early. I don't really feel that it's necessary to scout that early, especially not against Protoss. I feel like unless you're doing a Baneling bust, it's not really worth it to throw out the scout like immediately. And even then, the only reason I would scout early is to harass probes and kind of throw him off of his game, and to steal a gas so he can't get as many sentries. But anyways, he's doing the typical Protoss, I'm going to block your expansion, and just the normal scouting going on. As everybody knows, BlizzCon is going to come up here soon, and the new units will hopefully be announced for Heart of the Swarm. Although, I mean, I think it's kind of funny that they announced the Terran unit first when it's a Zerg expansion, but you know, whatever. The Zerg one hopefully is my new version of the Lurker, and I'll be happy with that, and pray to God that they get rid of the Corrupted, because that thing's fucking terrible. Anyways, we still have a typical build going down. Trying to block his Cybernetics core right here, and I do for a little while. But oh, am I gonna lose the drone? And I do. You gotta remember to click on a mineral patch there, or there to get through, or even back home, and we'll just walk right through. It's a great way to get past our Zealot as well. It's very, very simple, and something that should be done instead of losing a drone for nothing. I'm finally going down to try and take my expansion, and he blocks it. I kind of expected that. That's why I'm getting 2 Lings out. At this point, I actually more or less want him to waste some money on a pylon or something. I don't think I'll actually be able to get him to do that. And so now I'll throw down my expansion. He is chrono bursting out warp gates, not really that big of a deal. And throwing down sentries as well. Typical Protoss stuff, probably going to expand. And I'm finally getting gas so I can get speed. It's probably should have been done a lot earlier, considering the fact that I did not get my expansion right away, and so Speedling Expand would have been a much better choice. There's another build that I've been looking at. You can try a Roach Expand, a 3 Roach Expand, but it's more of a Terran. Anyways, getting a second queen out at my main hatchery so I can move it down to my expansion. And he's throwing down an additional 2 gateways. Probably not to push. It could be, though. He hasn't actually expanded yet. But normally it's a 4 on 5 gate if you can expand. 3 gate is normally, or push. 3 gate is normally an expand type build. And I send up my scouting Ling, and I do see that he has 2 sentries there, which means he's pretty defensive, but those are things that you want to get out early for the energy, so you can throw down lots of force fields. Transferring some drones out, and getting a 3rd queen for creep spread. Very, very essential to do. I don't do it enough, and it's just one of those things you kind of forget about in the moment, but it is almost essential because it is like throwing up spine crawlers, because no one wants to push out on creep against the Zerg. It's too big of an advantage for them with the 33% on most of their units increase speed, except Hydra's 50%. Woo! Yeah, Hydras are terrible. But he's finally throwing down that expansion. I have had my expansion up for a while, and he is actually up on workers on me. I have not built enough workers. I've been building defenses, but it's not bad. He could actually probably kill most of my lings with all those sentries, so it's still kind of an iffy thing. Probably should be drawing a little harder, and my queen energy has stayed pretty low, so injects have been on top, and this queen is just poop and creep everywhere. Yeah. Look at how many creep tumors I got. There will be creep everywhere, and look at how fast it spreads. These tumors do stack, so if you did not know that, the more tumors you have in one area, the faster it will spread exponentially. Kind of a cool thing. Since I'm not doing anything with these lings, I should be bringing them over here to, oh, we did pause there, to break down these destructible rocks there, and possibly there, so I can flank. It's kind of an iffy thing, but I think it's a good idea to at least bust down these ones, and then have something watching here. I do have an overlord watching here, so I know whether or not he's actually going to expand there. And getting the double ups, 1-1, getting infestation pit, and what am I going to do with that? He is building an observer and the robotics bay. He's doing a fairly standard toss build. Probably he will throw down a robo facility soon so we can get out Colossus. It's the normal toss thing to do. The only difference is he's getting a lot of zealots, and he actually has not kept on up on his probe production as well as he probably should be. But that creep production is really going really well. There comes the observer, and the scouting ling sees all those zealots, and it makes me feel a little worried. I really want observers, and I will throw down spore colonies or whatever to deter them, because while other people are just like, oh yeah, that's an observer, I mean, if they know exactly what you're doing, they can counter you entirely. So it's one of the biggest deals, in my opinion, to kill out those observers. I throw down random spore colonies all around so I can try and pick them off so they can't see what I'm teching or anything. Especially, has he seen that I have done this? Go to his cam. No, he has not scouted my lair, and he has not scouted what else I've done, so he does not know what I'm actually going, and he's chronoversing out armor, kind of an odd thing to do, mainly across weapons, especially if they're going the Colossus route, which he has yet to go the Colossus route, but I mean, weapons are just so good for the Protoss. Like, it counts on everything, and a lot of their units do hit twice, so it gives 2 damage to almost everything they do. I am getting Hydras. It's kind of an iffy, a bad choice, depending on whether or not how much I have scouted, which I have not scouted much. I've just scouted his armies, is all I actually have scouted, so I've only seen that he has zealots, sentries, and stalkers, but I've been trying out a new build, trying to go Ultra Ling Hydra. This game I didn't, but a lot of the times I will also get like 3-4 infestors to try and fungal a couple units, keep them in place so the Ultras and the Hydras can get in place. It's not terrible. I've been trying it out because a lot of times the Colossus, which is coming out right now, will focus on the Ultralisk, which is really, they're pretty bad against the Ultralisk. You have 6 armor on them, and they're hitting twice, each for 15. I mean, you're reducing their damage by 12, and they have 500 life. It's kind of a really bad thing, and a lot of Protosses really rely on these sentries, so they also crush that, allowing your lings to get in and surround, and since they're focused on the Ultras, your lings can do a lot of damage. So it can be very effective, especially if you catch the toss out of position, or you fungal all of his sentries and he starts to move back and things. It can really damage if played right, the Protoss. If at a certain point, though, you will have to transition kind of out of it or into another thing. Broodlords later is really a way to go. And look at this creep. He really should be doing something about this creep. I have spread all across the map. It is really... Look, he has an observer, and he's scouting around. I don't know if he actually does scout either base that I just threw down over here, but he really needs to be like, I am at his front door with all this creep, especially with Hydras. That is going to make these things absolutely effective. I do have a couple Ultras out, and almost chitinous plating finished, and he is just starting his level 1, and I am scouting this up here to see when he tries to actually expand. Not chrono boosting that weapons out, which is kind of odd. Does he have thermal lamp? He does have thermal lamp. I see that he starts to destroy these rockets, and that's when I decide to move out. I decided, you know what, I can flank him, I can get in there really quick with all the creep spread, and I can surround that Colossus and take it out very quickly. And you cannot force it. Well, guarding shield is little or nothing. I do have time also really those zealots, literally nothing especially against ultras. Hydra is very, very good with this game. And at this point, I am reinforcing with Lings and a couple more ultras. I need to get this guy and rallying up here. He's got out another Colossus. At this point, he can maybe defend. Ultras can't get in there. They're fucking. This observer really does no good. He should probably still be scouting to see in what I'm doing. Not that it's the biggest thing, but it's still probably not good. A couple more. Throws out the GG. That's game. I like to say that. I wouldn't be helping, so might as well. Anyways, that was a game versus me and a Protoss, trying out a new build. This Ultra Hydra Ling kind of build with maybe a few infestors. It really depends on creep spread and positioning and reading your opponent, and also trying to get that ultra tech and being safe before he has a death ball, like a really big death ball. But anyways, I'm WP.